cold afternoon in Chicago. The Bears host the Jets in a game of coaches and quarterbacks. For Chicago, Dave Wannstedt is on the hot seat, under fire for the Bears' 1-9 record. And the Chicago quarterback controversy has come full circle, returning to Eric Kramer as the starter. But today, young Steve Stenstrom will also get a look, expected to play for only the 4th time in his career. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Soldier Field in Chicago. Tom Hamilton, Randy Cross. Well, the Chicago Bears have been playing pretty well. They haven't given up despite winning only one game, but they are battered and bruised. Two offensive stalwarts won't play today, Raymond Harris and Curtis Conway. The other side of that coin, though, Randy, is that it gives some other guys a chance to show what they can do.
Well, specifically, Tom, a hometown favorite here, Darnell Autry. Autry, the rookie out of Northwestern, last week, 59 yards against a very good Vikings defense. He's going to carry the ball about 30 times today. They're going to try to do it the old-fashioned way and steal one from the Jets.
And with nothing to lose, they're going to look at some other players perhaps for next season. One of those, Steve Stenstrom. Coach Dave Wannstedt telling us he'll get into the second quarter in today's game. Four-man front is sort of a patchwork organization, so many injuries. Thomas, Flanagan, Simpson, and Reeves. The linebackers featuring Brian Cox, the volatile one, who is their leading tackler. Tom Carter, Walt Harris, two good corners. 28th time Morrell has been stuffed for a loss. That's second in the NFL. Foley rolls for protection, fires complete, catch made by Dedrick Ward, and Ward has 15 yards and a first down.
Foley are very used to each other from the practice squad.
Morrell got a block at the point of attack, rambles down the sideline, has a first down around the 35-yard line of the Bears, knocked out of bounds by Walt Harris.
That's the best description I can give you, and here's a guy that's not jittery at all. He is one of those linebackers that if you give him a shot to take a shot, he is going to take it.
Heck, Perry, Valerio, Berger, and Williams up front for the Chicago Bears. Kramer, the starting quarterback. First career start for Darnell Autry, the rookie from Northwestern, with Carter, Pohl, and Penn starting at the banged-up wide receiver position. Keith Jennings, the tight end. There is Darnell Autry finally getting a starring role. He's a theater arts major, a would-be actor, getting his first career start. He is the second leading rusher on the season at 59 yards against the Vikings a week ago in a relief role. Kramer, it's intercepted right out of the hands and into the arms of Otis Smith. A gift for Otis Smith, who has been the target so often lately. Third interception of the season. He has been beaten for 6 touchdown passes. Morrell, no place to go. Stopped for a loss of 4 yards back to the 45-yard line. Jim Flanagan, Brian Cox were all over Adrian Morrell that time. Got to play with who you have, and that's Otis Smith. Foley sets up the screen, completes the pass to Morrell with a couple of blockers, uses them well. Morrell picking his way downfield, 35, 33-yard line. Giants win today, and what about the Colts beating the Packers? Here's Morrell, got another good block, dives to the 20, scrambles for another yard with Marty Carter finally covering. I know a lot of guys that just go right over those speed bumps, don't even bother them. At the 20-yard line, Morrell is smacked to the turf by Barry Minter.
Well, early on, the Bears defense is making the point that, yeah, you might get us on the perimeter. We're not a speedy defense, but come inside where the big guys live, and we will smack you in the face. And Barry Minter just does a nice job of catching Adrian Morrell in mid-decision.
A little shorter attempt. This one 34 yards for Hall. This mid-range, though, is where he's had accuracy problems. This one, though, is dead center. Fabian Bowens is the deep man for the Bears. As Hall kicks into the wind, will not be a touchback to the 4-yard line. And Bowens with a head of steam right up the middle and just to the 34-yard line, a 31-yard return. 3rd and 6. Kroll in motion. Kramer. Simpson complete, first down just beyond midfield. Kroll with a catch. First down Chicago, gain of 14.
Ricky Kroll, a receiver with the Cardinals for a number of years. Had a few seasons with more than 50 catches. A month ago, deactivated, complained quite a bit at that point, said, hey, why don't you cut me or trade me? Last week had a career year, career day, 9 catches for 132 yards, and this is the Bears passing game. Quick slants, a lot of picks. You're going to see a lot of those short passes out of this offense.
Ryan Wetnight, the motion man. Play action fake. Kramer across the middle, high and intercepted. Victor Green with a convoy of blockers ducks out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And the Jets have the ball in good field position again, their own 44-yard line. Play action fake from Foley, wide open, the tight end Brady. And Brady rambles inside the 35-yard line. 21-yard gain. And immediately the Jets take advantage with a big play to Brady. Foley pumps once, goes deep for Keyshawn Johnson. He's got it for the touchdown. And taking it for 10 points here, Foley already with 100 yards passing in the first quarter. Tony Carter complete on the swing pass. Jets think this is pretty funny. They have 100 more yards than do the Bears. 4 wide receiver formation. Kramer hits one of them. It'll be close to the first down. You see the spot of the football.
It looks just short. You know, Dave Wanstead's been hammered around here about, you know, will he survive the year? They gave this guy an extension last year. It'll cost him $3 million to get rid of this coach. The problem here is the talent level more than it is the coaching.
And Kramer, who may or may not be with the team next season, faces a 2nd and 13. Fake to Autry. Kramer's pass complete, caught by Carter, fights off one tackler, makes it to the 40 before he's thrown back by Marvin Jones and others.
You know, Eric Kramer and the Bears are running this West Coast offense. And little swing passes to the running backs. There's nuances to this offense. When you're leading a running back, you want to throw it in front of him, into his hands, so he can keep running. He shouldn't have to adjust back for the ball. And you see Carter's got to adjust back, take his eyes off the defense. If it's thrown over the inside area, he sees the ball and he sees where he wants to go.
As we are in the final minute of the first quarter, Adrian Morrell bounces to the outside, to the 40 and driven out of bounds. Does have enough for a first down. John Mangum got him out of bounds. And all right, that means Terry Cousin just activated from the practice squad. A rookie from South Carolina is in there in the secondary. And immediately Foley goes to the former Bear, Jeff Graham. Out of bounds just short of the Jets' 45-yard line.
Well, you go and you find that practice player if you're the Jets' offensive coaches early.
Foley, Corbett makes a nice catch for a first down. Steve Stenstrom, who has played only actually 3 games in his career. The Bears playing without Raymond Harris and Curtis Conway, their 2 biggest offensive weapons. And not such a surprise to see them sputtering a bit.
I mean, this is an offense that can't do it in big chunks.
Bobby Ingram is also out of the lineup, one of their top receivers. That time, though, Kramer does spot a man. It's Ricky Cole open. And he's to the 20-yard line where he's hit by Dwayne Gordon. Sauerbrunn punting from his own end zone. Johnson made a couple of moves and breaks free. Finally knocked down short of the 25-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by the punter Sauerbrunn. 20-yard return for Johnson after only a 32-yard punt. Not done a good job. He Bears 29th in net punt average, next to last in the NFL. But here's a sack. First Bears sack of the day, and it's Jim Flanagan. And Foley's hurt.
O'Dwyer's beaten by Flanagan. That's a great matchup. And his leg gets twisted there as he's landed on after he's been sacked.
Wearing a glove on his left non-throwing hand. 2nd and 15. Play action fake. O'Donnell chased, sets up the screen. It's complete to Richie Anderson, and Anderson makes a good gain out of it. All the way to the 20-yard line, about a yard or 2 short of the first down. O'Donnell chased, got away, and then dives to the turf at about the 26-yard line. Barry Minter bearing down on him as Foley heads for x-rays.
A blitz with Minter coming from his outside linebacker position. That's just a tenacity type sack there. Coverage down the field makes Neil O'Donnell move out.
It just slips through. It was tailing away in a hurry.
And I mean, this Jets defense is playing exactly how you play a bad Bears defense. You get on it, you smack it around, and you cause them trouble. First, the sack by Jones. Now, that was Lyle right there, 95. Yeah. You know, defensive linemen aren't used to seeing the football. He didn't know if he was throwing it forwards. He didn't know if he was throwing it backwards.
He may not see it again after that effort. Rolls to get away from the rush, and then cannot elude the on-rushing Bears defenders, led by Brian Cox and Mark Thomas. John Hall with another field goal attempt, this one 34 yards. And again, it is good. And there's no mask or cape, but it is Steve Stenstrom as promised at quarterback here. There's Steve Stenstrom in his third year from Stanford, fourth-round choice of Kansas City in '95. He, they say, knows this West Coast offense probably better than any of the Bears quarterbacks. He did play for Bill Walsh at Stanford. The big question is his arm strength. He is a free agent at the end of this season. Dave Wanstead saying the quarterback situation is the first thing that must be addressed, so they're going to give the youngster a look. Stenstrom pumps once and throws an interception. This is Otis Smith. Otis Smith for the end zone and the touchdown. Welcome back, Otis. Jacksonville with a big win over Tennessee today. Here's Autry squeezing through the hole and making his best gain of the day to the 36-yard line. It'll bring up third and short for the Bears. Mo Lewis finally tackled Darnell Autry.
You know, sometimes you see running backs stunned by hits. Darnell Autry seems like to be stunned by openness. He gets to the line of scrimmage, there's nothing in front of him. It surprised him so much, it's like it threw his balance off.
Stenstrom nearly fumbled the snap. You see him clutch it a second time. There's Autry, the theater arts major, the would-be actor who left Northwestern as a junior. Pitch to Morrell on the sweep. Didn't get much to the line of scrimmage, perhaps a yard. John Mangum makes the stop. Mangum, the free safety from McGee, Mississippi, a town of only a couple of thousand. His dad, his late dad, John, played in the old AFL with the New England Patriots. His brother, Chris, who went to Ole Miss, now plays for the Carolina Panthers. And how do you like this? John Wayne Mangum Jr., the Duke. Short drop. Wide open Wetnight across the middle has a first down. Fighting his way as a flag comes down to the 35-yard line. Victor Green, the first to hit Ryan Wetnight.
This isn't Modesto football, much less San Francisco football.
Another interception. The hat trick for Kramer. This is Victor Green's second. Smith has two. Green has two. Anthony Marshall picked up the fumble by Dedrick Ward.
Any questions or doubt as to whether or not this is a defensive dominated game by the New York Jets? The Bears offense is terrible, and up until that fumble, the Jets offense was only just kind of bad. They're stumbling and bumbling towards bad.
Jim Flanagan knocked the ball loose as Parcells Jets turn it over for the first time. Short gain, Tony Carter on the receiving end of the pass. No quarter shown by Randy Cross here in the first half. Ricky Prohl caught from behind by Mickens. And another timeout by Chicago as the ball will be just short of the Jet 35-yard line.
And anytime you see a receiver being brought down the way Ricky Prohl is here at the end of the play, there's always a possibility for a little tweak. Because you got the defender's body on top of your legs.
Kramer's pass on the sideline on the deflection caught by Penn. Out of bounds, stopping the clock just short of the 15-yard line. Glenn deflected the ball right into the arms of Chris Penn.
Now, here's a case of very good concentration by Chris Penn, because you're going to see the ball go right up in the air off of Glenn's hands as he dives to get in there. And to Penn's credit, he never takes the concentration in the eyes off of the football. Perfect look at it here as the ball goes into the air. Look at Penn's head. You could follow the eyes as that head turned the entire way.
And the pass on target, first down, caught by Bones. So Fabian makes the grab in front of Aaron Glenn.
Fabian Bones up at the top of the screen. Inexperienced receiver, was a sprinter at Western Illinois. Just started getting his football legs underneath him, working against an Aaron Glenn. Some good execution there, and Glenn's got to be a little shocked with the job that Otis Smith is doing on the other side. For a change, he's got an offense going after him.
Play action fake. Kramer's pass wide open, caught by Jennings.
Kramer's pass.
And Keith Jennings will be just short of a first down. Tackled by Jones.
Take a look at full speed with Brian Cox and his defense coming after him.
Flanagan takes O'Donnell down. Flanagan's had a pretty good game for the Bears defense today.
Well, I tell you, a lot of those pass rushers for the Bears have been all over the Jets quarterbacks on the screens. You got to slow the guys down on the screen. It is not an opportunity to make a block and let your guy get a free shot on your quarterback.
And for a change, the Bears take a page from the Jets book. A good field position to start a drive. Kramer sort of short-armed it, got it complete to Carter. Tony Carter gets to one tackler and pounds his way for a first down. Jerome Henderson finally got him out of bounds.
Well, nothing new for a quarterback in this football game. Getting all kinds of pressure from the outside with a blitz. Watch the way Kramer releases this ball as Mo Lewis comes in on him. Just sort of short arm flicks it, because that's all he can do with Mo Lewis all over him. And Tony Carter, that's not a run of a 1-9 team's fullback. That's a guy that wants to make a point to a coaching staff.
Kramer steps up, drills it complete. Nice play, first down. Ricky Prohl caught it. Covered by Mickens, fifth catch of the day for Prohl.
And Ricky Prohl has been the only receiver in this Bears offense that has been down the field far enough to get a first down on a play like this. But watch the body position of Prohl. He plays the defender as much as he plays the ball coming to him. He puts his body between the ball and the defender, and there's nothing that Mickens can do behind him except interfere.
5 catches, 55 yards for Prohl. First down, Chicago. 18-yard line of New York. Kramer scrambles free. He's got a lot of room. There's a flag down as he makes it to the 8-yard line. From the 4-yard line, first and goal, Chicago. For the end zone, Kramer's pass, caught for the touchdown. Chris Penn. And that time, Otis was toasted for his 7th touchdown he's given up this season.
He would need eyeballs over the 4 and the 5 in the back of his helmet to see this pass, because he never, until the ball is there. Tommy made a great note about it. He might not still see where the ball is. Just remember one thing at the end of this play. Where'd you get that?
6 defensive backs on 3rd and long. O'Donnell's pass caught for the first down by Graham, the former Chicago Bear. On the sweep, first down picked up just short of midfield. Richie Anderson, replacing Morrell, who was a bit shaken up, takes it for the first down. All right, Landon, the Jets hope so. As we said, running a little short of running back since Leon Johnson has also been injured during the game. Darnell Autry pounding ahead 3 or 4 yards. Rick Lyle And Marvin Jones on the tackle. Any more you want to throw there? Autry again, nice run, squirting free, so's the football, but covered by the Bears. Tony Carter pounced on it.
Get some good blocking from Valerio, the center up front. Just a good takedown by Valerio. Maybe a little bit of a hole, but it wasn't caught. The fumble squirts out, and luckily for the Bears, they've got a guy there.
From the 25-yard line, first down, Chicago. Kramer, short drop. Eludes the pressure and finds Ricky Prohl. And Prohl out of bounds with another Chicago first down. 41-yard line. This time they beat Aaron Glenn. 16 yards.
I'll tell you, it's very impressive, too. Eric Kramer throws this ball through a forest of arms. He's got those arms. He's got Prohl. This offense hasn't had a lot of things, folks, but one thing they've got is a tough, efficient wide receiver in Ricky Prohl.
Kramer has time, swings it complete to Autry. Darnell Autry racing for the first down marker. Comes up about a yard short in midfield. Pushed out by Victor Green. Third and a yard. Kramer changing the play. It's a pass. And it's complete to Penn. First down as he's pushed out of bounds by Otis Smith at the 45-yard line.
Kramer's yelling it audible. Look at Penn stretching and straining to hear it.
Good call by Kramer. Good execution. First down, Chicago. Seventh play of the drive. Wide open, caught by Penn again. No, excuse me, it's Jennings. Keith Jennings, the tight end. That's a gain of 23 yards.
And what a great job by Eric Kramer. I told you about the bounce in their step. They're starting to get some confidence and swagger, because watch Marvin Jones, 55, inside linebacker, just right into the stomach area. Kramer stands in there, takes the shot, and gets the ball to Jennings. That is nice, because look what he's stepping into. I mean, that's not easy to hold your concentration long enough to not throw that one off.
Darnell Autry hits the hole. As we come down to the final seconds of the third quarter, Brian Hansen. Tyrone Hughes backpedaling, takes it at the 26. Pretty nice return. Tyrone advances to the 45-yard line. Tackled by Lewis after a 16-yard return of a 46-yard boot. Since the first quarter for Chicago, far eclipsing the Jet output. And Kramer wants more, and he has them. Chris Penn with a dive.
See Otis Smith mashed up on the outside. Does a nice job in the zone of adjusting. But that ball is thrown out there. It's kind of a go-get-it kind of toss. And Penn lays out on this, what has to be now a pretty frozen football field here.
Kramer has a man open, and he spots him and hits him for the first down. First catch today by Bowens, and it's good for the first down against Corwin Brown.
Fabian Bowens working here against Otis Smith. Another good toss, good catch situation. Look at the area you've got to drop that in between Otis Smith and Corwin Brown coming over from the safety position so Bowens can get that thing.
21-yard gain. Well, a victory by the Jets today will give them no worse than a share of first place, with New England losing today. And
the guys up front predominantly.
Kramer, short pass, juggled and then caught by Prohl, who dives into Jet territory, covered by Corwin Brown.
You know, he's willing not to let his quarterback take a shot and maybe take a hold. In this case, he got away with it, and the quarterback didn't get hit.
That pass complete to a first down to Chris Penn, working against Otis Smith. Otis owned the first half. I give the second half to Penn.
Division championships.
Kroll takes it to the 11-yard line. Working on Mickens that time. Kroll came wide open across the middle. 3 of 11 for 20 yards. Here's his 12th pass, and it's good. Caught for the first down by Jeff Graham. Matt O'Dwyer hears it again from Bill Parcells. And to repeat what Parcells told us, is that pass is complete. Chris Penn still on his feet inside the 40. Parcells addressing the issue of the over-aggressive O'Dwyer, saying he'll play the way I want him to play, or he'll be playing somewhere else.
That causes that ball to come loose.
And it's the 5th sack of the day for the Jets. Ryan Wetnight on the receiving end of that pass as we come to the 2-minute warning. Kramer 27 of 50, 312 yards, as you see. Darnell Autry. Ball stripped away, but it goes out of bounds. Caused 5 Chicago turnovers and led to 20 of 23 New York points. Kramer still in there pitching. Goes to the 10-yard line, approaching the 1-minute mark. Kramer complete to Cole at the 5-yard line. Kramer's pass to Cole. Can he make the end zone? No. Good defensive play by Victor Green. As Cole ran laterally trying to get the angle for the end zone, couldn't make it. No worse than a share of first place in the AFC East pending tomorrow night's Miami-Buffalo game. Ricky Cole outfights Aaron Glenn for the football, and finally the Bears do score a touchdown. Their second of the game, second in the second half.
I made the point earlier, if one thing's been proven on this offense for the Chicago Bears is there's no quit in this receiver, Ricky Kroll, for Chicago. He has been the offensive weapon for Eric Kramer in the passing game.
They'll go for 2 once more after the penalty. This time they'll run it in, and it's good. Darnell Autry. 23-15. We'll be back to wrap things up from Chicago right after this.
Last week, Otis, my man Smith, was torched by the Dolphins, and he was tortured by Bill Parcells, saying, you, Jumbo Elliott, my veterans, gotta play better. Well, Otis came back big time. Eric Kramer, out of Chris Penn's hand, into Otis Smith's hands. Sets up a John Hall field goal. After a Victor Green interception, Glenn Foley. Throw him the damn ball. Keyshawn Johnson, between defenders, touchdown, 10-0 Jets. Jim Father Flanagan will sack Foley in the second quarter. Mark Thomas falls on Foley, injuring his ankle. He's out. Neil O'Donnell in. Second quarter, though, the Jets have a big lead, and Steve Stenstrom, down 16-0, comes in for the Bears. His pass picked off by Otis, my man Smith. Look at him go. Cut, go, all the way. 38 yards, touchdown, 23-0. Jets.
Yeah, and then you're going to see here a spot shadow. That's Ray Mickens, and watch him come untouched from the backside to sack Stenstrom again.
Jets secondary in one half, 4 picks and a sack. Third quarter. Well, wasn't all good for Otis. Oh, he had an interception, could have had 3. Later the drive, Penn working on Otis Smith. He giveth, he taketh away. 23-7. He's dejected on the bench, but you know what? He played a big-time game. Fourth quarter, the Bears. They've seen this before. Aaron Glenn knocks down Kramer's pass. The Jets and the Bears made a little comeback.